right, so today I wanted to talk to you about the sizes of different companies over the course of my engineering career, from big to small. What's the difference between a smaller place versus a larger place? And I'll tell you. So, I guess we'll start with the smaller places because that's where I started at. And what you'll find is a lot of times they'll mention, probably during even an interview, that you'll probably end up wearing a lot of hats over time. And that's pretty much a norm with those employers of a smaller size, that they'll want you to be able to do multiple different jobs. So for an estimator, maybe go out into the field for project management and go do work on that side somewhat, or maybe a lot of the job that'll be carried normally by a controller who runs the jobs, calls people, does a lot of the extra work on the side for the project. You'll be doing a lot of that work normally, and a few other things. But I mean, mostly though, it's not too drastically different. But as far as pay, what I've noticed is that the smaller places, you tend to be able to negotiate a higher salary with them, just because they have more of a need for your skills than a larger employer who might have multiple people doing your same job, who they can directly compare the salary to. And it just kind of, it comes down to that. And as far as the larger companies, you tend to be paid less, and you also tend to have to work a little bit more, which sounds counterintuitive, but it's also true from my findings, what I've been able to see and experience over time, over these 5 years that I've done in estimating and been in this been in this engineering career field. Yeah, that's the breakdown. Larger companies, harder work for less pay, and on top of that, they tend to want you to work overtime without any real value being given to you for that, like pay, for instance, especially if you're a salary person. And at the smaller places, you might, even though I mentioned the fact that you may have to wear multiple hats at the smaller places, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to work so much harder, because it'll be less work. So yeah, you'll have to have multiple hats, but at the end of the day, you'll have less work. At the larger places, they have a lot more work lined up, and so you'll be constantly in it. And I've also seen, at least on this estimating side of things, that you tend to get a better setup at a smaller place. And what I mean by that, for the individual person, it tends to be a little bit better of a work environment, because you're not all squeezed up into cubicles at a smaller place. So you might actually get your own office, which I've had my own in the past. And at larger places, I was able to actually, at one of the larger places that I work at, move out from working behind a cubicle and in a cubicle into an actual an office location after one of the other estimators left that position. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, if you want more value for me when it comes to the estimating side of things. Also in project management and just general life advice. I was an alcoholic for the longest time, and I was able to get over that period in my life and kind of move on, which definitely helped me, my family, my wife,